Is Anora the greatest indie film ever made? Buckle up, because we're gonna dissect this from every angle, including idea, budgeting, and marketing. Let's get started. Every great film starts with a great idea, and Anora is no different. This idea had actually been simmering in Sean Baker's head for the last 15 years. He knew he wanted to make a film with the setting of Coney Island. He wanted to draw inspiration from talking to sex workers and this crazy story that his friend told him about a Russian newlywed couple that had gotten kidnapped. So what does this tell us? Well, there's an old adage that says, write what you know. And I think Sean Baker proves it here magnificently. He actually went out and experienced these things. There was another story about him editing Russian wedding films and taking some of that look and putting it into Anora. So when I'm creating my own films, I have to go out there and actually experience them, not sit behind a desk, because that is where the gold is. And Sean Baker proved that by winning 4 Oscars, literal gold. Auteur filmmakers like to say, I don't make film for others, I make it for myself. Yeah, no. At some point, every filmmaker has had to ask themselves, who is this film for? You look at Anora, it had an R rating. That already tells you something about the audience they're trying to connect with. You know, they had themes about love, class divide, and youth. These are all universal themes that every single one of us has somehow experienced or seen. So what's the key takeaway here? Make your stories human. Make your stories human. I don't care if you're making a story about sharks or robots or robot sharks, it doesn't matter. You need to ask yourself, how can I make this story connect with real people? Neon, the film's distributor, spent 3 times the amount of the film's budget on marketing alone. So let's be serious. None of us have $18 million lying around, and if you do, please call me. I'd love to produce your film. But here's the key takeaway with all of this. If you don't have that kind of budget and you don't have a PR team, what can you do? Start early. Right now, you can start posting about the subject of your film. You can start the social media accounts. You can talk to the community. You can build hype. Sean Baker, for example, in his film Tangerine, he had filmed the entire thing on iPhones, and that was the hype that created a PR campaign that got people into the theaters. So what do you have? You can talk to experts. You can go to meetups. You can talk to the actual people behind the subject that you're trying to film, so that when the film does come out, you have a community that's already built that's excited to watch what you made. Sean Baker swears by this. The most important part in script writing, the end. And I think this goes back to the audience of your content or your film. What do you want the audience to feel when they've left the theater or they shut off YouTube? How do you want them talking about the content that you've made after they're done watching it? And I think one of the takeaways here is that you can do this before you even spend a dime. Well, you will need to spend a little bit of money. Maybe some post-it notes to get a nice outline going. Building the foundation before spending a dime is key for indie filmmakers. Anora proved you don't need a Marvel-sized budget to win an Oscar. Sean Baker had a vision. He knew he wanted tight shots, natural lighting, and flexibility from his crew. And the biggest cost saver, I think that's it. It's having a base of a strong vision, thinking really smartly about the way that you're budgeting things, and then staying flexible and open to things that may come up while you're shooting that you can take advantage of and create magic with. Fun fact, they actually found the Anora mansion on Zillow. So Google is your friend, but that's not just all, right? You have to be persistent. After they found it, they had to contact so many people, including some lawyer from some club that owned the actual mansion. So what's the key here? It's persistent. You have to be persistent. Sometimes you're gonna sit in a hot office waiting for permits. Sometimes you're gonna have to rewrite an entire scene overnight. But the key is staying persistent. I'll die on this hill. Editing is the most important part in filmmaking. Sean Baker, he edits his own films to keep creative control. So if you're an indie filmmaker, the most important thing is to have a post-production workflow as soon as you can. No plan equals disaster. Trust me. Learn how to edit or get somebody that knows your vision and understands your vision fast. Baker switched from A24 to Neon with one goal in mind: get into the Cannes Film Festival. Not only did he get in, but he actually won. This actually also kicked off his Oscar run, proving that distribution is strategic. So for your own films, ask yourself, who do you want to see it? How do you want them to see it? Is it a festival run? Is it streaming? Is it TikTok? Pick your path and own it. So is Anora the greatest indie film of all time? With an Oscar sweep, a $6 million budget, and Sean Baker making history, it might just be. But what really matters, it's the lessons. If you want to be a filmmaker, you have to be persistent, strategic, and passionate. And hey, maybe one day you'll come back and win 4 Oscars yourself. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments, what is your indie filmmaking dream?